Hi. Oh, so tomorrow is my 24th wedding anniversary with John. And in looking at that, I thought I would just give a little statement about my take on relationships that work. I do a lot of counseling and I know a lot about relationships that don't work. And it's not uncommon after I leave a time with someone that I'll go find John and give him a big hug and say, I'm so grateful for you. And I'm so grateful for him because he makes being in relationship easier. Whatever you did, David, that was great. Thank you. He makes being in relationship easier because we don't have a lot of projected stuff. I'm going to give you probably the first and the last idea all at once. And that is that there is no relationship. You're not in a relationship. You happen to have another body next to you. They're not in a relationship. Everything that happens inside of ourselves. So when we have another person next to us, another body next to us, it's all about the things that happen inside of us that we take and we dump on that other person. And we call it a relationship. But if we are not clear about what we are putting on them, then we will put on the stuff that we've always put on people. You know, maybe for me it was the stuff from my father, the stuff from my first husband, the stuff from that very long live-in relationship, the stuff from my second husband. If I'm not careful, I'm going to take all of the stuff that I've always put on people and put on this person. And then I will look at that person and go, oh, you. And better that I should say, oh, me. Not look what you did, oh, look what I did. Look what I did. I turned this perfectly good person into somebody from my past. That's what we do. When we look at what works in relationships, we have to start with us. The only thing that will allow a relationship to be healthy is to start off with some healthy thoughts and feelings inside of ourselves. So maybe you grew up with this idea that somebody was gonna come. It was either Prince Charming or Cinderella. Somebody was going to come into our lives and save us. They were going to make those big dark places be filled with light. They were going to take away the sadness and fill up all of the emptiness. The problem with that is that we're the one with the big dark places, the sadness and the emptiness. We're the ones who are looking at ourselves as if we need to be saved. And then some perfectly reasonable person shows up, maybe flirts a little bit and likes us a little bit, but we're looking not for that person. We are looking for the one who's going to save us, the one who's going to take away the darkness, the one who's going to fill up all of the emptiness, the one who's going to take away all of the sadness. We're looking for something that doesn't exist. But we'll take all of that and we'll dump it on them, and because they like the attention and maybe whatever else, they'll stick around, and then people come to see me. And they come to see me and they talk about this other person, and I keep saying it's not about them. It's not about them. Not about them. They're not even here. Can't even work with them. They didn't come. The only thing we've got is you. The only thing I've got is me. So thank God I worked through a big chunk of this before I met John. Thank God that I didn't bring all of my neuroses into this marriage, or we would not be having our 24th wedding anniversary tomorrow. It is my job to look inside of me. And when I look inside of me, then I see everyone else in my life as a reflection of who I am. And if I see the divine in me, if I'll cut myself a little slack, I'll cut you some slack. And if I'm not cutting you any slack, I'm not cutting me any slack. If I'm nice to myself, I'll be nice to my spouse. I'll be nice to my neighbor. I'll be nice to the person who works with me. I will outpicture my relationship with myself, which is the only relationship that there is, in the other people in my world. So if I find myself, because I'm not, an ascended master yet, but if I find myself looking at the people in my life with less than unbridled love and joy, if I find myself seeing some kind of a limitation in someone outside of myself, then I can look inside of me and say, wait a minute, what's going on? Well, I feel insecure. Well, I feel judged. Well, I feel like I did something wrong. Well, I know that if anybody sees the real me, the earth will open up in a giant hole and I'll fall in. So I've got to cover it all up. I don't know if this makes any sense to anybody else, but those are very normal feelings that people have. And so what they try to do is they try to turn themselves into someone else, and then they try to be in a relationship with someone who's not really there by being not who they are. And then you got nothing. Because nobody's home. Sometimes when we grow up and we think that someone else is going to show up and make us whole, we are under the illusion that if I'm half a person and I find half a person, we can put them together and make a whole. But this is one place where addition does not work. It's more like multiplication. And a half times a half equals a quarter. And each one ends up as less than who they were to begin with. Did you ever go into one of those relationships where by the time you finally do get out, you're a portion of the person you were going in? Going in, you were clear and strong and powerful, and you're just kind of licking your wounds going out. That is because you tried to have them make you whole. Guarantee you. I mean, this is really quick therapy, so pay attention. It's saving you thousands and thousands of dollars. But when I can find the wholeness within myself, when I can know myself as a whole person, and I've got enough to give to somebody else, now we've got it going on. We have got it going on. One of my Barbara-isms that everybody should burn into their memory is, if you have an opportunity to be generous, take it. And that is never more true than in relationships. If you have an opportunity to hear your husband tell you that they want to run for president of this international organization and have an office in Denver, take it. The only response is, great, great. Because what is your choice? No, I think you should stay small so that I can feel more secure. No, no. If you have an opportunity to be generous, take it. If somebody leaves a pot of water on the stove, just turn it off. If somebody leaves the windows down and it starts to rain, just roll them up. You don't have to make a federal case about it. Well, do you know you left the windows down? And it was me who went out there and rolled them up and saved the day. Oh, come on, we've all done it. Some things are better left unsaid. If you have an opportunity to be generous, take it. If you have an opportunity to be happy, take it. And if someone that you love has an opportunity to be happy, support them in that. All of the experiences around you, whether they are neighbors, whether they are pets, whether they are co-workers, whether they are the federal government, is a reflection of your relationship with yourself. That is the only relationship that you have. So if you are fighting with people, stop fighting with yourself. If you find that there are, now this is a psychological term, reoccurring patterns in your life, that means the same thing happens over and over and over again with different people, different faces, different names, same thing. If you have reoccurring patterns in your life, Stop being the one that brings that to the relationship. I love what you said, Celeste. You said what you bring to life, and I know that you didn't really say it because you kept on and changed the meaning, but this is what I got. What you bring to life, you bring to life.
Yeah.
What you bring to life, you bring to life. So look around. What have you brought to life? Is it Frankenstein? You did that. Because that's what you brought. If you're tired of having people around you that do not treat you with love and respect, then start treating yourself with love and respect, but then start treating them with love and respect. There is no battle. Once you go to war, you already lost. I'm going to say that again because I've had a lot of divorces. Once you go to war, you have already lost. And so when we feel less than perfect, whole, and complete, less than full, and somebody wants a little something from us, we go, oh, you can't have that. I worked hard to build up my self-esteem, to develop boundaries. You can't have that. Oh, come on, really? You couldn't let them have the parking place? You couldn't let them watch the TV show they wanted to watch? Eat the food they wanted to eat? I mean, I've seen people fight over who drank the last of the soda. Really? That's all you got? Is a little bit of soda in a bottle in a fridge? That's where your good is? Or is there something inside of you that is more than that? So someone wants the last of your soda? No problem. I live in an abundant universe. I can go get more. I can do that. I love to see you happy. I'm going to sit here and enjoy you drinking that soda, and I will get more out of it than if I drank it. Because I know who I am. I know what kind of life I want to live. I know what kind of universe I want to live in, and that means that that is what I will bring to this relationship. Whatever you have got and whatever you call a relationship, you put it there. There have been psychological studies done where someone, let's have just a generic heterosexual example. You have a guy, you have a woman. The guy has never left his socks on the floor all of his life. But then you have a woman who is a nag. Pick up those socks. You dropped your socks. You left those socks. What's he going to do? He's going to leave the socks on the floor. Let's flip roles. You have a woman who's never nagged a moment in her life until she gets into a relationship with this guy who just doesn't do what he says he's going to do. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Did you do it? No, you didn't do it. Oh my gosh, did you do it? It's got to be done. Did you do it? Turned her into a nagger. Turned him into a sock dropper. This is what we do. Now what happened? The guy came in with a need to be nagged, and he turned that perfectly good person into a nagger. She came in with a need to be with someone who drops their socks, and she turned him into a sock dropper. Whatever you have, you put there. And you've got someone who loves you enough to stay even through it all. So since you have someone who loves you enough to stay through it all, you might as well be grateful for them. One of the things that John does almost every day is say, sometimes he has to wake me up to do it, have I told you today how much I love you? How grateful I am that you are in my life. If you're going to spend time with someone, you might as well be grateful for them, and you might as well start putting in what you call a relationship the things that you want to get out. There is some reason you picked them. There must be something that you like. Start focusing on what you like and forget about everything else. It doesn't matter if the windows are down, if the socks are on the floor. It doesn't matter. What matters is how you feel inside of yourself. What matters is whether or not you are going to live in a world created by love. What does your world look like? Are you creating it in love? Or are you back to petty, bickering? Well, you did this last time. I have to do it this time. Ugh. You want to take me out to lunch? Great. Doesn't mean I'm ever going to take you out. Deal with it. We do not live in a tit-for-tat world. Just because you do something for someone doesn't mean they owe you. And if you're in an intimate relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's a family member, whether it's someone that you're working with, you are intimate with them. If you think they owe you, where's that coming from? That's coming from a lack of fullness inside of yourself. Well, I gave you this, and that means now I have a hole. Because I'm not whole and complete. I have a hole now, and so you have to give me something back so I can fill up that hole. That's the way people feel. No, you gave something, you set the law in motion, and the only thing that life can do is give you more. You want to give somebody flowers, you'll get more. Take somebody out to lunch, you'll get more. Be nice to someone, you'll get more. Someone has an idea, tell them it's a good idea. Don't tell them the 100 reasons why it won't work. Somebody gives you a compliment, the only response you have is thank you. Thank you. That doesn't mean you owe them anything. You can just take it. One of the things that we have to learn on the spiritual path is how to accept. Because when we are fulfilled to overflowing, we have plenty to give away. And when we have plenty to give away, we are nicer people. And when we're nicer people, maybe countries don't have to pick fights with each other. And we don't do stupid things in Washington. And it's stupid on both sides. That was my only political statement. John and I lived together for a year before we got married. Yes, we lived in sin. It was great. So we're actually going on our 26th year, but tomorrow will mark the beginning, legally, of our 25th year. And what I have found is that the more that I can give to him, the more that I get. Does it always come back from him? No. But the more I get. And when I stop trying to lay things on him and make things mean what they don't mean, our energy, our communication is much clearer. I remember when we were first together, and we were really pretty young. We were first together, and he came home one day, and in talking, he said, yeah, you know, I got an invitation to go to the WWW whatever wrestling thing. And I said, why did you go? You love that stuff. We were young. You love that stuff. And he just got shocked. He said, you wouldn't have cared? I said, no, I want you to be happy. Don't make me go, because I don't want to go. But if you want to go, go. And it was this incredible epiphany. Probably he saw me for the first time without his ex-wife's face over my face and without his mother's face over my face, just me. I want you to be happy. You have an opportunity to go do something, go do something. I want you to be in your joy. I want you to be confident about who you are. I want you to have a feeling of fullness. I certainly don't want you looking at me for the rest of our lives to try to fill up that empty spot in you. I want you to be full all by yourself so that I can have my experience of fullness without translating into some kind of resentment onto him because he's sucking the lifeblood out of me. I know you've been in these relationships. Be so clear about who you are that you can give it away and know that there's always more coming in. The sock is on the floor, just pick it up and be grateful. Then somebody takes his socks off. I don't know, pick something to be grateful for. Do a rampage of appreciation. You sit down to dinner and it wasn't quite what you thought it would be grateful that you're sitting down to dinner. What is it? What is it that you can find to be grateful for? Because gratitude comes out of your fullness. Gratitude will completely wash away anger and fighting and resentment. It's one of the fastest ways to have a relationship that works. Be grateful. Be giving. Be joyous. Support whoever you're with. Support them. They don't have to be who you think they should be. They're fine just the way they are. Support them. Let them do what they want to do. If you don't, then they'll go find someone else to do it with. And then you're just stuck back in square zero, because I believe that you can love any person on this planet because the love comes from you. So you're not going to get anybody better. You've got who you've got. If you love them, and if you're in this relationship out of your fullness, they will transform into the person that they are, and you will see them clearly as spirit and form, as light and love and joy and power. It's all up to you. It's all about the world you live in. We haven't had this affirmation in a long time, and kind of because John's in Canada and we are going to see each other tonight, I just want to close with this affirmation. So take a deep breath, and if you know it, you can say it with me. And if you don't, just listen. I live in a world created by love. Love is what I am. In all that I think and say and do, love is what I am. Before me, behind me, around me, inside me, love is what I am. I'm filled overflowing and clear in my knowing. Love is what I am. That makes a relationship that works. Thank you.